And hello everybody, welcome back to the channel guys. I hope you're all well. Before we do get into today's video, as always, please do smash that like button and subscribe to the channel for daily Liverpool content. Guys, we're well on our way to 50,000 subscribers now, very close, so if you haven't already hit the big red button, please consider doing so, and in return we'll keep you on the straight and narrow with everything with regards to Liverpool Football Club this summer and into this new season. Guys, we have got some huge news to discuss this evening actually. First and foremost, regards to Alexis McAllister. Yes, we all know about the story with regards to him at the weekend. Of course, kind of had a very harsh red card given to him, and then in sort of the fallout, we were told that Liverpool had lodged an appeal. Basically, on the Sky Sports' Ref Watch, of course, they spoke about the incident and said there was a good chance that it could get overturned. Well, here today, guys, I can confirm to you that Alexis McAllister's red card has indeed been overturned, so will be available for the next game. That's fantastic news to hear, of course, because if his suspension was going to be going through, he was going to be missing for around a month due to the international break. So to have him back, it's a massive boost. But as I said, he is not going to be sent off. We gave you the news yesterday that Dermot Gallagher felt that it was the wrong decision from the on-field referee and of course VAR, and basically said on Monday, I think the problem here for me is the referee thinks it's a high tackle, but it only becomes a high tackle because both players are there. If you look at the boot, actually catches him on the ankle. If it's his foot on the ground and he still catches him in the same place, it's not a tackle, not a red card for me. Again, a lot of fans were outraged after the game, and rightfully so, because, well, the situation prevails. What is VAR in place for? At the time, I did feel that maybe it could have been a red card, but after the game and after watching it, I did feel like it was very harsh, but of course I could maybe understand the on-field decision at the time just because both of their feet were up in the air. However, having said that, VAR is supposed to be in place to eradicate decisions like this. And now, yes, it's all well and just that Liverpool got all 3 points onto the board, but what happens if that wasn't the case? What happens if they were in fact drawing that game? What happens in fact they were losing that game? What happens if in fact it was a narrow lead and Bournemouth chucked everything at it and you're playing half an hour with 10 men? It's not fair. And as I said, you probably won't hear much cries right now because Liverpool got the 3 points, but it could have been a different situation. So that's something that needs to be eradicated going forward, and we need to be able to trust the officials and the VAR in place to get the decision right. But having said that, there has been no harm done, if you like. Liverpool, of course, did get all 3 points, and Alexis McAllister isn't going to be suspended. So very good news on that front with regards to Alexis McAllister, because he's impressed and settling down into a new club as well. You don't really want to be missing games, especially 2 games in. So it's great that it has been overturned. Fantastic stuff with regards to that. Now, in other news, I touched upon this morning that Liverpool it could be in line for a cash windfall. However, of course, there has been more development in regards to that. It does look like there is going to be a bit of a bidding war for Dominic Solanke. Now, as I said, why does this have anything to do with Liverpool? Well, when Liverpool sold him to Bournemouth back in 2019, there was a 20% sell-on fee lodged within the deal. So upon his next move, Liverpool, of course, get 20% of the fee. So we are following this story quite closely. Now, initially, Bournemouth have rejected a £40 million bid. However, it is said that Fulham are going to be entering the race for the striker, and that there could be a bidding war between the 2 London clubs. As I said, they value him at around £40 million. And if if Bournemouth get the bare minimum of that, £40 million, then Liverpool will be due around £8 million of that transfer, which is a huge boost in the transfer market. Of course, £8 million for not doing anything. We've seen Hendo go for £12 million, another £8 million added to the transfer kitty. As I said, does go a long way with our owners. So big news with regards to that. We'll keep you updated as sort of time goes on and what happens throughout this sort of process. But the latest I do have to add on to you this morning is that Fulham have entered the race for Dominic Solanke's signature. So something there, more money could be going into the kitty very soon, which is pretty good on that stay. Of course, the players were back in training. If you remember at the weekend, of course, Trent Alexander-Arnold and Luis Diaz were sort of hobbling off towards the end. However, they have put fans' minds at rest, as both were pictured in today's training session, which means there is nothing wrong with them, which is good boost, good news on that front, especially for Luis Diaz. He's been absolutely fantastic since the start of this season, literally hitting the ground running. So good to hear there with regards to those two that there is no injuries there, and they were spotted back in full training with absolutely no problems. Now, of course, there has been more reports. Well, reports this morning, I did say to you that Liverpool had submitted a bid for midfielder Ande from Fluminense, and basically documented the situation. I'm not going to bore you about the whole thing in total. However, of course, the Brazilian side do not want to sell their player this transfer window. Liverpool had a verbal offer of £25 million rejected, and basically they want to do business in the January. Liverpool have this player in high regard, and since then it has been said that the player has agreed personal terms with the club. However, personal terms are all great and well. Apparently we've agreed personal terms with Romeo Lavia, or we've agreed personal terms of loads of different players over the years, but whether until you actually trigger the release clause or actually agree a fee with the club, it means absolutely nothing. Remember, Andre does have a release clause in place within his contract. So if Liverpool were desperate for his signature, he's costing £35 million, 40 million euros, and that will be enough to trigger his release clause this summer transfer window. So it does remain to be seen if Liverpool are going to try and save the 10 million quid or just going to be waiting for him in January. But the situation remains the same. Fluminense have rejected a verbal offer. However, following that, it has said that Liverpool have agreed personal terms with the player. So maybe an interesting one to watch as we go into the sort of final week of the transfer window. Will Liverpool be sort of not desperate, but will they go in for the midfielder? It does look like they're sort of prioritising him and not moving in for another midfielder due to wanting him. And is that a situation where they'll be willing to go till January without a midfielder in aid of just trying to get him? Remember, the club have done it multiple times with different players over the year. Van Dijk was one of them. Of course, waiting to try and get the deal over the line. Could that be the case? I do feel Liverpool need more strength and depth in the midfield, actually. So a Decore or a Ryan Gravenberch or an Andre. But then again, there's the whole situation with we've only got one homegrown player left, or homegrown slot left. So Andre would take that one up. And then what do we do with regards to the other position? So it's all sort of a little bit messy, but at the time of recording, it's saying that, of course, Liverpool have agreed personal terms with the player. No further update on that, but I'm sure we'll get some more updates as the sort of days go on. But Liverpool fans, that's all I've got for you today. Do let me know your thoughts on Alexis McAllister's red card being overturned. Let me know your thoughts also on Andre. Do check out our channel sponsors, of course, Slick Gorilla. They are kindly giving all LFC News viewers 15% discount on all their hair products. Do check them out. It's a product I personally use. So do, as I said, check them out and see their collection and get 15% off all of their hair products. That, of course, does bring us to the end of today's video, guys. As always, please do smash that like button and subscribe to the channel for daily Liverpool content. Thank you, and I'll see you all next time. Take care. Peace.